you know, I was gonna wait a little longer, because, you know, I usually do, but I'm also like, I'm only gonna stream for like an hour, so maybe we should start now, so that we get like our full hour's worth? I don't know. Hi, friends. I don't know what I'm doing, or what's happening, or what's going on anymore. I feel like butts. I feel better than I did at the start of the week, but I still don't feel great. It's all emotional, not feeling great. But we're getting through it, and we're doing all right. You know what? Been better. It's just honestly, real talk, it's just, I'm just going through a depressive episode. Nothing new. Nothing bad has happened to make it happen. It's just one of those times where my brain is just like, no, we're gonna be sad for no reason. And so I'm just like, okay, I guess we're gonna be sad for no reason. I am feeling better than I did earlier this week, but we're still just kind of taking it a little easy. But it's been a bit since I've done, like, a me stream, just a me stream. And so, and I've wanted to do it. I want to do a dang stream, but my brain's been being mean about it. So I said, fuck you, brain, and we're gonna do some Village. I would have started a little earlier, but apparently my mod manager decided to delete every single one of the mods that I had for Village, so I had to re-download all of them. Which is why I didn't start, like, you know, a half hour ago. But they're back. We have them back. It's fine. They are back. I promise. Where the heck is... There the heck is. So it's gonna be fine and fine and fine. I did start a Village of Shadow run on my own time, because that's what I do. We were doing hardcore, though, right? I guess Halloween was the last time we played. Is Halloween the last time that I just streamed on my own? Boof. Alright, it's fine. Well, while that's loading, grip it and rip it. Yeah, I also bought I got myself a new little USB adapter thing, so that I can put more USB things places, but it's being a butthole, and it's not working, hence why I'm just flailing it around right now. But that's also one of the reasons why it took me a bit to start, because I was messing around with this. That's a future me problem. I'll figure out how to make it work. It's fine. I'm pretty sure I just didn't set it up right, which, whatever. It's fine.
Oh, good.
Merchant Duke is here. Everything is great. How's in-game sound? I've had to, like, switch everything around again, just because I think I fixed my sound issues from the weekend. I'm sorry, you have unlimited ammo? Oh, right, because I bought... Okay. Okay, I know why. Do I wanna be cheap in this run? Kinda. Thank you for lurking, stars. Get those chores done. You got this. Gonna leave that alone for now, because that's all... Not DLC, but it's extra stuff that you can unlock that we don't necessarily need. And I do have unlimited ammo. When did I get my Samurai Edge? What the... When did all these things happen? It's been a couple of days. It's been a week or two. Why aren't my SpongeBob paintings here? It was warned that the Thomas the Tank Engine mod... Wait, no. Okay. Okay, some of them are here. Hello? Oh! 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 Excuse me! It's a good question. I don't know who's we've got. I just know I'm getting bit. Where am I going? What I don't know, whose is this? You tell me. Fruity, you're the samurai edge expert here. Where am I going? Oh, were we going to the courtyard? We might be going to the courtyard. Fuck off! Ma'am! You can't just chomp on me! Sir, excuse me. Handsome lad. Okay, well, everything's already bad. We're off to a great start. God damn it! I just healed! Ethan, I need you to run, is the thing, buddy. Think it's Chris's? You think? Please, please, get me out of here. Open! Oh, she stopped chasing me. Okay, well, that was horrific. Not happy about that. We've got our fly swatter, so that's delightful. I don't necessarily want to use my healing item now, but also we're not doing too hot. Okay, we're gonna do it. Oh, yeah! One that you shoot Evelyn with. Big, goopy Evelyn. I want to replay RE7. I just want to replay all of the Resident Evils right now. I think that's the vibe. Is the thing. I think I just want to play Resident Evil. So that's cool. I'm gonna, okay, it's decided. Maybe that's what we'll do once we finish Scorn. I was kind of torn between playing this and Scorn. Equally torn. I wanted to play both of them. I want to play both. Resident Evil is definitely more comfort vibes, which is what I want right now. Hi Luna. How's it going, pal? But yeah, this is my comfort vibes. Let's play some Resident Evil. Rudy, I gave you a choice. You could have swayed the decision a bit more. Is the thing. No, it's fine. I chose this. I wanna play Scorn, but with my brain being as funky as it is. It's not even just like sad brain. I also had to do a lot of troubleshooting at work today. And so my problem solving skills Sorry, I forgot the train extended out past the back of her head. What was I saying? Oh, right. I had to do a bunch of troubleshooting at work today, which was fine. That is my job, but it sort of just took the last of my brain cells with it. And so trying to do, like, obtuse puzzles, while normally is a thing that I enjoy, seemed a little rough on my brain at the moment. So after a little consideration, I figured this would be better.
What have you done to my daughter?
I did a murder. I did a murder. Also, please don't misgender your sons. I wish the mod would fix that. The mod has to figure out how to make the siblings all have actual voices first, I guess, before I ask it to correct how Alcina addresses them. They're very pretty boys. Alright, let's... Right. At one point, I remembered what the actual solution was. It's not that hard. Women are blind to male advances, but the poor shall take their chances to give their lord their bounty sown, so that soon the wine may flow. Disregard. Man? You go there. And then... there? BB set up for being on tummy time? Dang! BB! She's also crawling backward. Holy shit! Congrats, BB. I guess congrats to you too, Allie. It's a it's a little less exciting, a little more terrifying, I imagine, for you. Baby being vaguely mobile. That's awesome, though. Also, hi, friend. How are you doing? Women are blind to male advances, but the poor shall take their chances. She's ignoring you. And then... you turn that way. And you turn that way. Wait, no, because she's got a cup, right? I don't know how to do nothing anymore. Is that... okay, I'm not entirely sure why that worked. But it's fine. Just booty scooting? We just booty scooting over here. Alright, let's...
What the hell?
let's do some stuff. It'd be stinky down here. Let's take a moment to acknowledge how stinky this would be. I had a moment of why he looked like that, and then I remembered. And then I remember why he looked like that. Let's go ahead and do that. I do have infinite ammo on just for when I was playing Village of Shadows mode. I'm not turning it off. You can fight me on that. We're just here to look. This is fine. Hello? Can you come here? COVID shot time for BB? Michael Myers, you gotta stop, buddy. You can't be doing this. Excuse you. Excuse you. COVID shot for BB? Oh, and booster for you. I see, I understand. I need to get a booster. It's true, every basic mic does require a significant amount of bullets. It requires every bullet in existence. And normally I'd let myself just, at least with like hardcore mode, I'd probably like let myself have the challenge of dealing with enemies with slightly more more health, but I just don't feel like it today. Excuse you! Michael! Horrible and rude! My goodness! It's true. Brain is off today. No, we have no ability to do any sort of ammo management. We're being nice to ourselves. And you know what? That is okay. Hi. I saw you wiggling under there. Can't hide from me unless you do, in which case you got me. Can I get around here, please? Hello? Is there someone behind me? No. Okay. I just want to go to town on some Michaels. That's all. Are they down for the count? Nope. Still coming up. It's just like our friend Mr. Myers. He won't give up. He'll never stop. He just keeps coming. Buddy, one day you have to lay down and just take a break for yourself. Okay? Oh, hi! That's the goblin crawl that he did to come out was very good. It is very strange seeing Michael Myers be as wiggly as he is in this, but I kind of like it. Kind of here for it. I have been playing mercenary mode every so often for this, and it's very fun. I wasn't ever really one for like the arcade modes in the Resident Evil games, but like I dig it. It's fun. It's silly, especially with the enemy mods on it. It's just very good. All right, let's do that. Nothing else in here. Time to see. Of course you do. Of course you do. We're talking about Michael here, not Mikey. Oh God. Hold on a second. Can we do a photo mode real quick? Never mind, it's not working. Never mind, the thing that I had planned. It's not there right now. Oh! Oh! Why her reflection like that?
Mother Miranda, I regret to inform you that Ethan Winters has...
Hey, I think they forgot to mod the other model.
Heisenberg. Because he is in my
I might need to retry
for my daughters to handle.
Resident Evil 4's Mercenaries. It's been a very long time since I've done it, and I've grown.
Yes, of course. I understand the importance of the ceremony.
Oh God. Oh, I forgot about the Cat in the Hat movie.
Hell with the ceremony. That man will pay for what he's done.
Not super Dr. Salvador's. I think I just want to replay Resident Evil 4 in general. I think it's time. Does that also say slap me on it? I think it does. Oh well, it's fine. Before I pick that up, let me grab that. Okay. I'm also just very excited for the new Resident Evil 4. It looks very cool. Oh, wait, no, wait, don't go. No, wait. Wait, no! Ma'am! Oh, no!
All this for a child who isn't here.
What the hell do...
You ungrateful, selfish wretch. You come into my house. You lay your filthy
Yeah, you can parry chainsaws in the new one.
daughters, and now you even try to steal my property.
Ma'am, I am still weirdly attracted to you, and this is uncomfy.
Why you hunt you, and I will grab you.
I can fix her.
Go ahead, do your worst.
Oh, why is she like that? I love Alcina, Lady Domitresque, adore, even when she is Thomas the Tank Engine. This is fine. This is what we wanted, right? We wanted the silly mods. Well, you got them. Open up, please. Is this? Okay, it's just my footsteps I'm hearing then. Understood. I forgot that you fight her this early. It's not obviously not the main fight. But I did forget that this was a thing. Before we start, let's make some of that. And get started. Let's go.
Like I'd let you get away. You'll be sliced to ribbons
Okay.
before you ever see
Ah, ah, ah,
you
ah.
will learn. Soft house stomach.
Ah! Oh no! I thought she was closer than she was, and then she was closer than I thought she was. Give me that! Give me that! Give me that! Great! I got my hand! Great! Hand got! Hi! Ah! This is fine. It's fine. You know why it's fine? Because I am speedy fast. I am so fast, I am fast like Sonic. You cannot catch me. Ah! Maybe she can! I think I can! Oh, she sounds so close. Open, 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 open! Open! Great, get me out of here!
Running will get you nowhere.
Okay, well, it got me away. Gotta goop up our stump. You love to see it. Right? It's just that easy. Ethan, your arm was a little lumpy there. I don't think you're attaching it right. Nah, it's fine now. You got this. I shouldn't doubt him. He's had to reattach his hands so many times. Okay, I have 2 sisters left, right? Hello? I thought I heard a Michael. Whoa! Why did you gotta fall on my head like that? Do they not know? Known fact about Michaels. You're right. How could I be so silly? How could I forget? Michael, please. Michael, please. Any other Michaels around here that need to get shot? That would like to get shot? No? Hello? There's a Michael. That's a Michael. Hello? No? Okay. Got him. I don't have to kill every Michael that I come across. As much as I like doing murders on Michaels, I would like to put... Wait, no. I want to equip that. I want to do that as a shortcut. Put that there? Put that there. So I can just swap between those two just a little more quickly. Give me that map. Give me that map. Here's somebody stomping around out there. Excuse me. Whoever is stomping over there. Can I? No, I don't have that key just yet. Okay. That's fine. That's a Michael. Y'all don't know I'm here. Listen. I am the sneakiest. No, he knows. He knows I'm here. Oh, jeez. Michael, I didn't want to do this. We do be loving Sexy Thomas here. It's just, I mean, I just can't help it. The caboose on that engine. I don't know how trains work. I just know that those are words that happen on trains. And it's funny because caboose could also mean booty. But I'll stop now. I'm sorry. I do like that there is now a mix of paintings that are SpongeBob or whoever these dudes are. There's Patrick again. Hi, buddy. Hello. Can I get any other gubbins? Like the scrap metal that's here. Or the gunpowder that's here. Excuse me? That's an A, so it's A. Wait. JK. Never mind. Hi, I'm very bad at this. I'm not even trying. Whatever. It's fine. What did that do? That gave me a key. Great! Get me out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. Hello? Oh. No, we've already met, ma'am. Is the thing? Here is the thing. Lady D. Are you coming out here? Oh god, she is. This is a problem. Okay. Well, Ethan, you have to start running. You can't just walk around. Is she coming? Oh, yeah, she is. Well, open! Open! Open!
So you finally came to see me.
Hi!
Oh, ow, so mean!
You wanna come here?
Why are you doing this?
Oh, it's closing again. Come here! Dang it!
Why? Why would you do this?
I need you to stop, please.
It's so cold.
It's fine, come here.
A dream. This is a dream.
Are you dead yet? Can you be dead now?
Don't you
Oops.
love me?
No. No, not at all. Come here.
I don't want to die.
There we go. I mean,
I'm sick of bugs.
I also love him, but not enough to not do a murder. I'm sorry. He's a pretty boy, and I love that. And as much as I would adore having him string me up, I got a baby to save. That was a good choice of mod. I'm very glad that I that I did that one. I do wish it worked a little more consistently, but it's okay. It can't be perfect. I'm glad that everyone has been appreciating them. I'm not gonna spoil any of the future mods that are gonna show up. I will say there have been a couple of ones that a couple of sections of the game that I've not been able to like mod at all, just because there wasn't anything available, which is very sad, but it's okay. Hello?
Cassandra, come here now.
Oh, it's
Exactly how much do you plan on anointing?
oh.
It's a pleasure to see you.
Those sentences are the same, Fruity. I'm sorry, those two sentences are the same? A little bit of A, a little bit of B, honestly.
Do you have need of anything for the road ahead?
Depending on the section.
Welcome.
Game
You're
section,
sure
I
to
should
find
say.
Something new.
Okay, well let me
As
buy
you
it then.
wish.
Let me do the buy thing and the sell thing. And we don't need any of the handgun ammo or the shotgun ammo. So we'll sell all of that.
Right, I will.
That's fully upgraded. I don't really need
One moment, please.
to do these, but I will because we've got the money for it. And what else am I going to spend it on? I want that. I want that. 10,000? Fairly
Till next
close.
we meet.
Ma'am, I hear you stomping around. I see you stomping around. Where am I trying to go? Hey, game. There should be... No, I know where I'm going. Don't mind me, ma'am. I'm just passing through. Uh-oh. That's a brother coming for me. I looked at that and I thought that was what was supposed to be there, but I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember that. Isn't it? Wow. Hold on, let me... Wow. peeking out from behind there. Oh, jeez. Did I get it? Oh, I did. Okay, we're fine. Okay, where's the other ones? There's one there. And there's one there. Anything else? Oh, literally right in front of me. Okay. This is fine. Perfect. Oh, why did I think it opened a door here? Thank you, diver. I appreciate your beauty. You majestic creature. Alright. Question is, do we shotgun our way through this, or pipe bomb the poor lad? I'm thinking pipe bomb? That's a Michael. That's a Michael right there, and that's a Sylvie! Hi, Sylvie. Sounds like we're doing explosions. Right? We do love a good pipe bomb moment. I do only have one. I guess I have a proximity mine as well. Sylvie, how are you liking Danganronpa? Hey, friends. How are you liking it? But also welcome in. How are you doing? Rifle. There's not enough space in my inventory. Can I... Listen, game? Hey, game. You have done a piss poor job of managing my inventory for me. Hand me the controller. You're doing it bad. Can I... Hold on. I love that game. That series as a whole is very wacky, and I love it. Okay, there we go. Wait! I still don't have space. This could be a problem. Rifle is big. Knife has to go away. Fuck! I'm still short. Ugh! Handgun ammo. Get out of here. I mean... Possibly? And we are about to do a fight with one of the brothers in a very small space. Do have... I think I have enough to make more if I... Okay. I mean, look, I was willing to get rid of our good knife. It's not a fly swatter. It is by no means a fly swatter. So, you know, if we want to get rid of that instead, all right. No jokes. We're real gamers. We don't do jokes here. We've done it. I honestly don't even want the rifle at the moment. Do I have unlimited ammo for it? It's true, gamers don't joke. Known fact about gamers, I do have unlimited rifle ammo. I mean, that's fine. Well, it could be useful, couldn't it? Should I shortcut that to 4? Because we do have these horrible lads here, don't we? wiggly! Stop! You're moving too much! You're horrible and I hate you. Any others? Hello? I can hear them! No! No! Horrible. Where are you? Oh, he went back. Okay, cool. Great. Perfect. I've just reset his position. Jokes. Okay, who's the next to get shot? Hello? Please? Stop moving so much! You're horrible and I can't hit you when you wiggle that much. Fuck off! Okay, maybe we don't use the rifle and we just shotgun it up for a while. Yeah? Thank you for the crystal wing. Do that. Awful noises are happening, and I would like for it to stop. Listen, being a gargoyle would be delightful and wonderful, and I would love it. You're right. Uncle Cabela's correct. You have to use shotguns on birds. That's just the done thing. Hello? They're so wiggly. Stop! You can't fly directly above me like this! Being a gargoyle would be a pretty good life, though. Real talk. I would appreciate it. I would enjoy just sleeping and hanging out. What a life. Excuse you. Excuse you. Excuse you. Oh, that tongue, though! I haven't ever really gotten a good look at their faces before, and I hate that. I can't say I liked that. Hi. Horrible things. Get out of here. Hello? Thought I heard the flapping of wings, but maybe it was just that one dying. The world may never know. I think I want to try and finish the castle today before we end stream. Like I said, it is going to be like a shorter stream just because I am feeling like buttholes. But sometimes you just gotta stream a little bit. Just a touch of stream. We gotta fight Thomas Dragon. Dragon Thomas. I doubt we're gonna see any sort of like Thomas on Big Dragon, but what if we did? What if it was just what if the mod did what the Skyrim mod does and just replaced the whole dragon with a Thomas? Imagine. Consider. If they don't, I will be incredibly upset. I'll be the first to let you know. Listen, if we can get Thomas and friends in Skyrim, we can at least get a Thomas in Village. Just a single Thomas. Push. Okay. Down we go. Off of the rooftops. Let's get out of here. Big yawn. Okay, it is by far one of my all-time favorite mods, like, ever in any video game. I've really liked the, baby Rose on Chris's body and Chris's head on Rose's body, in this one.
Stupid man thing!
That's me!
You won't live long, even if you run!
That's me, I'm the stupid man thing! Say it to me again. Yeah.
Welcome.
It's
You're
just
sure to find something new.
the Thomas mod
Good. I was just
for
thinking of
Skyrim
ways
is
to pass the
perfect.
time.
Absolutely perfect. Ooh. No yawns. Okay, we're selling the crystal wings. I need to keep the lockpick. I guess that's really all I can sell, isn't it?
Ah,
Oh, but I can
getting
get more
good is
space
more
now.
important than anything.
Okay.
Anything, my friend.
I don't have to worry about space nearly as much now. What do we have? Much more space.
Hey there.
Perfect. Hi, Mommy. Whoop!
You'll make the best vintage.
I should probably figure out where I'm trying to go. There's still something in the dining room, and there's still something in the entrance hall? No, in the room with the elevator. Okay. What have I missed in there? Where is she stomping to? Hi. Okay. Well, let's get out of here. What did I leave in here? Cause it's in, yeah, there's something in here. And I don't know what. Ding. Oh! I can hear her stomping. That's it. That's all that was in here. So then I've left a lot of stuff on the rooftops. I don't need to be a completionist. I've done this before. I don't have to do it again. Angel of Sadness. Mask of Sorrow. Angel of Anger. Duke, please. Happiness. Pleasure. Oh, I don't have that yet. Wait, I do have the ball, though. Which means I can avoid Lady D. And we can do our stupid little puzzle. Hey, remember when I didn't realize you could, like, turn the castle and be able to see anything in a different orientation? And I just played the entire game like this? And was very confused as to why I fucked up. It's good times. Loved that for me. Wasn't until the very last puzzle that we realized we could do it differently. Okay, hold on. Game, I can't see? Even if I turn it, I can't see? This has not helped my situation at all? Right? Ethan, just take the ball, grab it, and just put it in the hole. You can reach. You don't have to play it. You don't have to play the very silly game. You can just put the ball there. Right? No matter how you look, you just can't see where it belongs. It's fine, we got the Crimson Skull. I don't even need these. But I just want it. I just want it. Let's just go ahead and sell those. Why don't we? Thanks.
Good day then.
Where are we going? Dining hall still has something. Oh, I can probably go outside? Possibly? Or have I done everything outside that we need to do? Hello? Michael, you have to knock. You can't just let yourself in, buddy. That's rude. Hi? Oh. I, like, heard him gasp. Okay, come on. Is that another Michael I hear? Wolf's blood? Wolf's blood? Welcome in, friend. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. But yeah, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Hey, can you not get up, please? Thanks. Where am I going? There's a lockpick in the library, or in the opera hall, but I don't really need to do that. Hall of Pleasure. I need to go... I kind of know where that is. Okay, upstairs. Back inside, up the stairs. Avoid the strangely attractive train. And the boy. Avoid the boy. Hold on. This way. Ah! God, no, fuck! I have been cornered. Whoopsies. Well, I got smushed. I got sandwiched. That was unfortunate. Oh god, I have to... I did get chewed. You right. Oh, fuck! This means I have to do the stupid
Stupid man thing.
puzzle again. No, not the stupid man thing, ma'am. And I can put the other back.
Thanks to your consistency.
Okay, well, I will talk to you in a second, buddy. I just want to...
I've expanded my services.
Great! I'm gonna have to buy things from you again. I'm gonna have to do everything again. It's not the worst that it could be, but it's still not great. Okay, alright. Well, the hope was to finish the castle today. How are you to do? There's Lady D stomping all over everywhere again. Fuck. Fuck. I can't see anything. I can't see nothing. Okay. Give me... Okay, let's do this one more time. Sell that, sell that, sell that. Yes, agreed.
No, I'm more than happy to purchase it.
And then buy that. Upgrade this. Reload speed, please. Rate of fire. And then we save so that I don't have to do any of that again. And then we boldly run through here as if nothing is happening and I fear nothing. Here comes a brother. This is fine. No, no, no more getting killed by train, please. Please. Open, open, let me in. Okay. Well, this is fine. Now we're locked in here, and this is where we live now. Silver ring. Is that... That's just a thing I can sell, right? Tasty. Now it's the fight with the brother. Let's equip this. Oh, my frames are going. Frames, where are you going? Why are you leaving? Wait, no, I've done this wrong. No, I haven't. We're fine, actually. Where is he? Oh! Found him! The way that he just ran at me. Right? What's sisters? There have only been brothers here. I'm sorry, buddy. I keep doing that thing where I open up the Steam social page. Step on it, please. Come here. Whoa! Please. Man, I am sad that, like, not all the voice lines worked for them. Because otherwise it'd be a really cool mod. Goodbye, handsome lads. I loved you. Oh, what a sad day. Alright, let's... Mounted animal skull. Oh, wrong one. Do that. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, no, the one that, like, actually worked and had the pitched down voice was awesome. And I wished that that worked for all of them. Because it was real good. It was a real good mod. They appreciated it. They did a good job. It just needs a little fine-tuning, that's all. Okay, where am I? There is still something in here? Is it? Yep, there it is. Let's go. Yeah, I just wish that... I'm gonna slap her. It does say slap me. Slap! Woo!
Entire bloodline of House Domitresk is done in by the likes of you.
Yes! It was me! The stupid man thing! Okay, hey.
Oh, yes.
I might have some things for you, like this crystal fragment, and this torso, and this ring. Don't ask where I got the torso from. It's fine and normal. It's fine. Oh, hiccups. Okay, that's...
Till next we meet.
You know what? I might, because I think it would be funny. To have one of these other ones? Maybe? Nah.
What are you buying? Good day then.
No, you didn't finish it. Oh. That's okay. Ma'am, you gotta go. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is the sad one? Anger. Happiness. Pleasure. Oh, here she comes. Okay, please let me in. Please let me in.
The entire bloodline of Domitresk done in by the likes of you.
Thank you. Okay. Yes. Yep. It me. I did it. I've done it. I think I can hear you doing that, Fruity. All right. Oh, I should save because it is boss time. It's boss time. So we should probably not have to do any of that ever again. And once we get through this, we'll probably call it here for today. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I want to keep doing more of the modded Resident Evil stuff, and then probably get to the other Resident Evils as well. Or at least the remakes for sure. Because I've not played 3, and I haven't played 2 in a really long time, and I would like to. But, I will see about the other ones. Probably revisit 4. I haven't played 4 in a long time. It's been a minute. It'd be fun to do in preparation for the remake in March, I think is when it comes out.
You've ruined everything!
Ma'am. Oh, that face, though. Oh, it's not good. Oh, there goes our knife. I love her. Oh. No Thomas had, but we do still have Dragon Mommy. I need to find the clip of this the first time that I saw it because I lost my goddamn mind. Of me going feral. Listen, I do love me a good Dommy Mommy turned dragon. It was good. It was a good moment. All right, I will not apologize for who I am as a human being. Love me a good monster. There was nobody needed to see that, but here we were. Ah! No, you can't just turn around like that! You can't just turn around like that! You can't just do that, ma'am! Well... Whoa! Oh Lord, she's coming. Why? Why? What was attacking me? Yes, please. Whoa! Ma'am! Oh, I am out of healing items. This is fine. We're doing great, actually. Hello? Man, that's filthy. That's disgusting. Why would you do that? Okay. I don't know, I'm pretty happy about it. Whoop. She looks so cool though. Oh! Oh, you're chasing me up here. Hey, if we could not do what we're doing. I don't even know what's attacking me. I cannot see them. Yeah, no, I'm aware. No, I know. Man. You wanna come here? Yikes. Alright. Alcina, please. We gotta stop now. We gotta be done, babe. She still looks so cool. Jesus, Ethan. Aww. We did it. Goodbye, Dommy Mommy. I love you.
You're the one who's cursed.
Ethan, you're not... I hate to break this to you, buddy. You're not as good at these one-liners as Leon is. Right, everyone say goodbye to Thomas. Goodbye, Thomas. Lady Thomas, we loved you. You will forever chugga chugga choo choo in our hearts. Good times.
Looks like I'm getting out of this place.
Hey, dirty flask. Let's wander just a tiny little itty bitty bit, and then we will we'll call it here. I think there's a save point in here, but yeah. We'll probably continue on until we talk to the merchant. It just seems like a better spot to stop overall, you know? Yeah, stream achieved! Take that, stupid brain. Hey look, gunpowder in the toilet. Yeah, like I said, like I wanted to do at least a little stream to keep myself wanting to do it. Cause I did want to stream. I do want to stream. But I also need to be mindful of how I'm feeling. Okay. Okay. But yeah, I still want to, I want to do streams and stuff. I made a post about it on Twitter the other night while I was thinking about it. I've been kind of at odds with content creation recently. Like, it's a thing that I want to do, but just trying to get used to everything. Hey, I've gone fishing! Hey! We've gone fishing! I don't know, it's just been a little rough trying to, get used to everything. I have got a new schedule, just because, I live alone now, but then also having more hours with work and stuff. It's been a little difficult to, find time to do stream and also hang out with friends, and hanging out with friends is kind of taken priority. So, there will probably be some changes with the channel as well. Not the butt picture! Oh
almost dead? That's a question for the wise.
You know what I mean?
No,
And I still
never.
haven't found Rose.
Never less time
Where's your
playing
mother,
balloons and
Miranda?
watching
Take
goofy
her.
YouTube videos. Never.
You're too late. Almost too late.
I don't know.
Child will be sacrificed.
I've also just not really had like the energy to do
What kind of sick medieval
streams.
shit is
I'm
this?
just looking into maybe
just a
getting
baby.
like a PNG tuber icon, like a better, or not a better one, but a different one from the one that Emmy made me for Cult of the Lamb.
Will you please stop talking in riddles? I just
So
wanna
that,
find my daughter.
like, on days where I don't feel like I want to be on camera, I can just throw that up and call it good. I do also just want to change the layout of my scenes and everything, so maybe that's just not necessary at all.
Wait a second.
We're gonna figure it out.
That's
There's gonna be
familiar.
some changes to the channel, and that's
Hey,
fine and
hey,
cool
wait.
and fine. But, yeah. Yeah. We do love a cute tuber model. It's true. It's true. I think it would be fun, because I don't know, I don't have any issue with, like, not having any sort of visual on screen, but I feel like I can be so expressive that not having something to, like, reflect that can be really hard sometimes. And that's a personal thing for me in regards to myself. I don't know. Yeah, thinking about making it just like a cute little octopus or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I appreciate everyone's patience and niceness as I've been figuring everything out.
Is this?
I still want to hang out with everyone and still do stream stuff, but I'm just gonna be a little slower to do that for the time being. Right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. I don't have anything for this at the moment. That's okay. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Right? Same though. I love y'all no matter how wiggly my life gets. And I don't know. I just appreciate y'all. Let me just tell you, I appreciate y'all. For sure. I mean, I'm still gonna apologize anyway, but I appreciate knowing that everyone understands and is supportive and just darling. That's a dead man. I still want to, like, I'll still have, like, a focus on horror content, because that's my jam. Also, I see those boys up there. But I'm thinking about doing, like, maybe fewer streams, but have them last a little longer. I don't know. I got a lot to figure out. Figure out what works best for me. But I'll keep everyone posted as per usual. Definitely definitely planning on moving, like, all of the indie horror stuff, like the short games that we get on Itch and everything like that, to YouTube exclusively. That is also a dead man. Because then I can, like, address those at, like, in a less rushed manner, and I'll feel like I'm actually giving them the attention that they deserve. And I don't know, I think it'll be easier as a whole to do our indie stuff that way. So, maybe, at least, like, slightly more full than what we were doing here. Like, because I feel like we were pretty thorough about most of the reviews that we were doing of the indie stuff. But to, like, give myself a little bit of time to think about the game that I have just played, as opposed to immediately being like, this is what I think, while I'm still processing everything. But, yeah, I don't know. I need to work on the backlog. I was enjoying? I liked uploading, like, the, yeah, without goobers cracking wise. Listen, I love y'all and I love your jokes, but y'all start making jokes and then I start making jokes and we derail very quickly. I'm not, I love it, I'm here for it, but, I don't know, not that I think that highly of my own opinion, but I like to be able to give my own are you an iron insignia? No, I don't know what you are. I do like to like give like my full opinion on those kinds of games, you know? Yeah. I mean, not fully ungoobed. Sometimes my own opinion might be goobed, but no outside goobering going on, you know. I'll still do like the upload the archives and everything like that, or keep archiving our streams because I like doing that.
There
It's
you
nice
are.
to
I had
have
a
that.
feeling you would pop up here.
Yeah, mono goofed as opposed to omni
Is that
goofed.
so? I assume you've picked up something of value.
Exactly.
Not sure if it's a value, but
Yeah. Yeah, so
Why,
that's
you have your daughter right in your own hands.
that's me
what are you saying?
rambling about that a little bit.
Take a closer look.
Yeah, I'm hoping, like, I don't know that I'd be able to do, like, full series, which is why I haven't, like, committed myself to that just yet, but I think doing, like, the shorter ones would be nice. And again, sort of, like, give me the option to continue to do content creation without necessarily having to, like,
That
go
flask
live and do the
seems
whole
to contain
fiasco
her
that
will.
is, you know, that is, streaming live. I do also want to do more stuff on, I want to do more stuff on Glimish as well. I just haven't had
This
the
is
chance to
impossible.
figure any of
this
that
just
out.
can't be.
Your
So, yeah.
daughter's essence is still
Yeah.
intact. Her powers are truly unique.
Depending on how things keep going with work, I might have more time to do
Who
highlight
could even
videos
do
again.
this?
I would like to
She
do
can
that,
be
I
saved,
think.
you know.
Saved.
So reminder,
From
if
this?
you see something funny
you
on
insane?
stream,
There's a house
do
with
a
red
do a
chimney
clip.
on the western side of the village.
I'll probably do like a
Let's
giant
seek out
one
the
to
man
catch
who
up on
lives
all the
there.
stuff from the last
Then we can
many months that I
continue
haven't
the
done that.
Quit holding out and get to the damn point.
Right, everyone over there was very nice.
Do you have any better option?
Well, we'll see what we can do. Yeah.
Your choice.
Ethan's just over here grunting, and I'm being like,
Husband is
everyone's so
always
nice and wholesome, and I love my
After
friends.
Feel
Right,
terrible
it's like,
find
even
out
if you're
this is
excited
a
about the
lie.
new platform, it is like energy, and it's a lot of spoons to dedicate. Specifically to trying to figure out a new platform. Which, like, it can happen. I can do that. I might just need to, like, dedicate a day where instead of doing a stream like I want to, I just work on Glimish stuff. Yeah. It's all good. We'll figure it out. Let's
Well
do
then,
some
feel
quick
free
selling.
to peruse.
Sell some stuff. I'm gonna keep the fish because I can get bonuses by making food with the Duke, I think, at some point. I have unlimited sniper ammo, right? So let's go ahead and sell all of that. Same with the handgun ammo. But yeah, also just being able to, like...
Grotesque. Beautiful even in death. That waistline, yes.
Yes. Being able to just, like, talk about it too
I've
helps.
procured some
At
new
least helps me,
items
like,
for you this
process
winter.
the plan, or, like, what I want to do too, so I appreciate y'all just listen to me gab about that a bit. Not gonna buy anything else for the time being. That should set us up pretty alright for next time. Next time is going to be House Beneviento, which means the portion of the game that still genuinely, like, terrifies me. So that's cool and exciting. Love that for us. Hey, I got sharpshooter. I don't know what that's for. Let me exit out of the game real quick. But yeah, the next time I stream it will probably be more Resident Evil or Scorn. We'll see what I'm feeling that day. Like I said, today we didn't do it just because my brain's a little a little mushy, but this was fun and delightful, and I liked it. I'm gonna yawn. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, we will figure out what we're gonna do next time. Potentially Friday. Who knows when? Yeah. I might, since my streams are a little more, like, spur of the moment, I might start doing an @everyone tag in Discord, just to kind of let people know, since I'm not, like, on a consistent schedule anymore. If y'all are up for that, let me know. But thanks for being there, pals. I still don't feel great, but I feel better. I've missed all of you, is the problem? The thing is, here's the thing. I've missed streaming, and I've missed spending time with my friends on stream. So thanks for being here, hanging out while I stream. Let's set up a raid and go say hi to someone, anyone. I don't have many people online right now. We've got super great friend doing one shot. Is this what I think it is? Is this what I think it is? It is! I love one shot. It's a very good game. Or Thought Level doing Zelda Ocarina of Time. Yeah, we've got the same people on. Do we want to see One Shot, or do we want to see Ocarina of Time? What are we feeling? What are we thinking? I don't think we've rated Dot in a hot minute. So maybe that's what we'll do. Go say hi to our friend Dot. Alright. As much as I love One Shot, yeah, it's been a while since we said hi to Dot, so we'll start that raid. Yeah, like I said last time, or like I said, next time, I'll let y'all know. I'll just let you know when we're gonna stream more and which game it's gonna be. Like I said, it'll probably be either Scorn or more modded Resi. But yeah, until then, take care of your dang selves. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, friends.